Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party successfully survived the onslaught of the Ink Agony, the ancient ichor beast that lived in the cellars and sewers of Tebadra Farms, summoned by the King of Thieves as a seeming punishment of sorts for their difficult family upbringing. Finding out a little bit more about the king's activities and what sort of person he eventually was and would become, you all returned back to the city of Rosewick and to enjoy some well-deserved downtime after a trek through a blizzard, among other things. However, on arriving in the city, you were informed that, true to their word, Caleb's little delinquent friends caught a stranger snooping around asking after you. Making your way to the clubhouse to see who this mysterious stranger was, they reveal themselves to be the alchemist, Siegfried Eshkar, the Shadow Lily, the Shadow Lily alchemist, who has his own political schemes in mind, but claims to know how to administer a cure for the disease that rampages through Yav. But of course, it remains to be seen if you guys can afford the price for his services. He is one of 2 people on this continent, and potentially in the world, that know how to cure this. The other lies on the Council of the Concord. As you guys look over the shadowy alchemist, he gives you all his usual sickly grin, always seeming perpetually amused at the state of affairs around him. Caleb, you notice your friends seem a little off-put by him. More than likely, they're more than aware of his illusory abilities. At the very least, Dimitri seems to be aware enough to tell him to come out of hiding. But obviously, seeing a man appear out of thin air is still rather unsettling, especially for a youngster. The alchemist gives you all a bow as Dimitri shuts the door behind you, and the kids kind of keep watch out the window to make sure nobody's dropping any eaves on your conversation. And the alchemist bows to each of you, one by one. Doctors Alefakir and Slitherite, King and Prince Tebadra, and Mr. Gyoger. Have you had a change of heart about requesting my services? I understand my price has not changed.
I'm not going to lie to you. I completely forgot that you were climbing because we have been really busy. So sorry for keeping you waiting. That was not intentional.
As I recall from our previous negotiations, in exchange for administering the cure to those of you currently ravaged by this disease, I requested the elimination, either politically or... And he slides a finger across his throat, of Melina Dimebog.
Yeah, pretty much he wants my sister dead or taken care of.
But
Forget, but like I also just kind of like put it on the back burner, so it's...
Well, if that's not what you called me here for, then please enlighten me. I see. I see. Then indeed, this will require some altered negotiations. Saving the life of a king is certainly something I can do, but it's not going to be cheap. I'm smart enough to speak to the men behind the man. Queen Tebadra can offer me quite a lot, yes, but frankly, I'm more interested in what I can potentially get out of you. He glances to the rest of you. Let's be clear about services rendered. I will save the king's life. He will enjoy, judging by his age, easily several more years of comfortable rule on the throne. He looks to Caleb and Zephyr. His children will have time to either persuade him to write a coherent will, or at the very least get a solid plan of ascension orchestrated, and then you can either wait for him to die or assassinate him, whatever you wish. Although, if you want him dead, and he kind of glances to Tuco with a smirk, I think you already have more than the expertise required.
Yeah, you see Tuco kind of return it with a smile of his own.
He considers for a moment, and eventually, kind of giving a smirk, he looks to Caleb. Well, I think this is more than fair. How about this? In exchange for the life of your father, I want the throne.
No.
Well, then I'm afraid we're wasting all of everyone's time here, aren't we? Are you a gambling man, Prince Tebadra? Aha! Then I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of hedging your bets. That's what I'm doing. He looks back to you, Caleb, with a smile. If I say...
Get you?
What's that? Must have been something else. Let me put it to you this way. If I save your father's life, you owe me a favor. And that means no matter how this little soiree happening in Yav... Here, let me mute them for a hot second. Makes it hard to concentrate. No matter who wins, I still benefit. If you win, then the person who's in charge of the southern banditry of Yav is in my pocket. If you lose, well, I can return the kingdom that the Concord believes they own back to them. No matter what, I am in the good graciousness of the winning side.
Oh. That would be true if I needed you.
If you don't need me, then why call me?
I didn't call you.
Well, we called you because the queen needs you. I mean, that's on you to tell her that, not us. And I'd like to see how she responds to that, really.
Do you have a counteroffer in mind? That admittedly gives him pause, and he kind of stares for a moment. The life of your father means that much to you. He stares for a moment before flicking his gaze to the elves and the two of you.
I'm not understanding what.
But in exchange, I can save the life of King Tebedra, but your infection will remain unless you can offer something of considerable value for me to cure you as well. You want to replicate it, so you'll have no further need of me once the procedure is done.
I'm sure you've heard of my family. I'm sure it comes to no surprise about what I want.
Knowledge at the expense of all else.
She kind of looks away and she mutters, I am an Elasticare.
That you are. He's quiet for a moment, definitely considering it.
Don't die!
Oh, decisions. But then again, having a hold on southwestern Yav would certainly be of use to me. Oh. A counteroffer. Perform the service I requested against the Dimebog Hetmanat, and I will administer the cure to the infected among you as promised. In exchange for the life of the king, there is something else I would like. In the Blackened Sea, between the Kingdom of Crimesoon and the Denouement Commonwealth, there is a series of underwater caves. Inside inside of which lies a treasure of considerable value. Retrieve that for me, so that I can distribute it to some waiting customers of mine, and in exchange, I will consider the trade fair. I will even, perhaps inadvisably, allow you to observe my procedure, and I will save the life of the king first. However, let me be very clear. One does not make a deal with my kind lightly. If you attempt to betray me, attempt to cut me out, there will be consequences. Conveniently, these caves are only a very minor detour on a trip you're already planning to take. Mutual benefit, and you don't even have to go that far out of your way. A little swim, and the deal's complete. What do you say?
And once the deal's complete, we're off your little hook you just gave, correct?
I will expect both of my terms to be met. Hetman Dimebog needs to be off the throne. Whether she's dead or alive, I could care less. And I want the treasure of the underwater caves retrieved and given to me. As I said, I have customers waiting for me. But yes, once those deals are met, you will have paid your debt to me in full, and we can go our separate ways. Although, of course, I'd be more than open to future negotiations. You are all some of my most interesting customers.
So I'm a little confused on what the deal is here.
Basically, he'd already in Shadow Lily promised you that if you got what's-his sister off of her throne, he would cure the infected members of the party, because he mentioned that the infection is slowly killing them. However, Lucian had contacted him hoping that he could also save the king, since the queen is clearly really broken up about him being sick. He said in exchange for saving him, there's something hidden in the underwater caves between the Kingdom of Crime Soon and the Denouement Commonwealth that he wants, because someone else he's dealing with is going to buy it off of him, whatever the treasure is. And if you agree to get that for him, he will save the king as well.
And he said he'd even do that first.
Yeah, but made it clear that he has the power to ensure you follow through on your end of the bargain or face consequences.
Okay. Can you put that in writing for me? Because
Yes.
that's a lot.
All spirits we're going to get.
Was he also offering to cure everybody else? And he's gonna give his part ahead of time.
Oh. We don't have much of a choice. We're in.
How exactly can you enforce your deals?
He gives you a smile and does a small shushing motion against his lips and gives you a wink. All right, here, I'm going to post it with this very simple, he will, you will.
Okay.
There you go. And basically he said if you try to back out of either of your ends of the bargain, he has a way to punish you.
So I guess the only thing I have to really complain about would be, I ain't going treasure hunting for somebody else, alright? That's a lot of time to waste. It's a lot of investment time. And I don't even get the booty prize at the end. Ah.
He gives you a smirk, Tuco, and did I mention...
Oh, I was saying it out of character, not in character.
Okay.
I do a voice whenever I'm talking like him. Though, yeah, sure, you can react to it like you spoke.
Did I mention that the treasure is weapons?
And I'm supposed to get that treasure by you?
So that I can sell them. You, of course, are more than allowed to buy them. Luckily, I was able to talk my buyer out of an exclusivity contract. And I'd even be willing to give you a finder's discount.
Yeah, you'd see Tuco's expression just kind of like he looks like he's very contemplative because he's very much a man who thinks of his time and if it's being wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Halflings don't live very long after all.
Yeah, he can't afford to dilly-dally. And he did mention offhandedly that this treasure hunt is on the way to a place you're already going. So basically, you'd make a very small detour to get this done, and in exchange, he saves the king's life.
And how exactly are we supposed to get this treasure to you? If we're going on something that we're going to do, it just kind of seems counterintuitive to like go there, come back, go there, come back. You know?
Oh, rest assured, once you get the job done, I will find you.
Well, that's not creepy.
Oh, please, Lucian, look at him. The man's loads of creepy.
I'm not denying that.
They don't pay me to look good. They pay me for what I can offer. Do we have a deal?
Out of curiosity, if we were to find something else that you may want along the way, could that be used as an alternative payment?
This actually kind of gives him consideration, and an interesting thought. If both parties agree that an alternative payment is fair, that will be allowed. And while he's not writing any of this down, you all almost get the vibe that there's like a spoken contract being drafted.
Oh yeah, he's a demon.
What's kind of ulterior payment?
Well, that is for you to determine when you find it, apparently. I'm rather interested to see what you find. You all have a knack for finding interesting things in your travels.
Like how he's just like Miss Mouse. I'm muted.
No.
No.
You're not muted. You're a little distant, but we can hear you.
Oh, nobody reacted, so I was like, oh.
I'm in character mode, so I listen.
It didn't go through, but Lucian sighed.
Yeah, Caleb was going to say, if you cure me, then I will find you payment one way or another.
Oh, you will, rest assured.
Like I said, I will get you payment for that one way or another.
Of course. And to be clear, I'm not a cruel man. I'm a deeply generous soul. Until a service has been rendered, I will not expect payment. You can renege on our prior deal anytime you like. This is the only deal where I will expect payment soon. After all, and his gaze kind of darkens and he gives a sinister smile. You may want to decide fast. The king slips further into darkness by the hour.
I don't much care what happens to him. If he turns into a monster, then we will destroy him and I get the throne either way. I only
Ah,
care about the deal that involves me.
a Tebadran through and through. I like that. Well then, my precarious little politicians, do we have an accord?
I guess so.
I mean, it doesn't sound like we have any other choice if we're going to get anywhere. So,
I do
guess.
not care for the agreement with the king. So, but I'm sure the rest of them will hold themselves to that part of the agreement.
Besides, we both know if your father gets back to full health, he's just gonna betray you again.
After this, Lucian looks over at Zephyr. What do you want? I mean, this was your idea. Yeah.
Then we have an accord. The Tebadrans will be excluded from negotiations, but our deal is struck. He bows to Dimitri. Thank you kindly for your hospitality, but if you'll excuse me, I have a contract to perform. And with that, he snaps his fingers and vanishes.
He did say that Lucian and Dugo could watch the procedure, right?
He never disagreed.
You two got
Yeah,
work to
like-
do.
Lucian just kind of looks around. Does that mean that we should follow you to the castle? I don't really understand what's going on. It might be because I'm tired.
Yeah, because I am lost. Like, why did we make a deal with him at all?
It was you guys' idea.
No, it wasn't.
It was not. It was Zephyr's idea. Why do you keep saying it was a group idea when it wasn't?
Yeah, like none of the rest
I don't
of us have
understand why
any
people keep
say.
saying it was some kind of group idea. It wasn't. Lucian called him and Zephyr. It was Zephyr's idea.
I think I was trying to get that point across was like the whole reason why Lucian even called him was because Zephyr asked her to. And
yeah, I was gonna
the
say I don't really see the point of this.
the idea was that we were going to make a deal with the
Yeah, by
goat
the way,
guy,
Matthew.
and the king was gonna live. But
Yeah,
you
but I
know-
don't understand why do we want him alive? He's a traitor and he's totally gonna side with the traitors again.
absolutely, absolutely. But it's because like there's no concrete, like
How's that
like
ring?
I guess
Basically
proof
acts
that
as
somebody
one.
is like
Mhm.
who's next in line. Like right now, they appointed Caleb because you know.
No, yeah, but technically wouldn't bringing the king back to health because he already betrayed the party once. Like he's already betrayed the party once. I don't
Twice,
really
technically.
not twice. I don't see why we even want to try and consider it again.
Wants him alive.
Right.
So Matthew, did the guy leave yet?
Well, I'd said he would, but if you have something else you want to say to him, I can delay that.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, like
It
I
was
was
going to be like, I just want it to be clear. I personally do not have any stake in the king living or dying, so I do not want to be a part of that deal.
Yeah, Tuka's gonna say the same, because what does this have to do with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Tuco. Don't take this personally, Tuco, but I couldn't give a rat's ass.
About?
About the king, I assume.
I'm just about the
About
king.
the king,
I don't.
assume.
But you have a rat's ass, but like, never mind.
Oh, yeah, you'd see Tuka just kind of. Anytime my ass
She was
gets
trying to
mentioned,
be
I'm more than happy.
she was just trying to be funny.
Among other parts, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he gives a finger guns, or rather paw guns. But yeah, because the only thing I could see the benefits in, but technically the benefit would have already been reaped from the previous deal we made, because that's what directly concerned the two doctors, because they want to observe him.
Basically,
so yeah, this new deal has no bearings at all. Like, I don't see why.
The only thing that I think the only thing that we were
wants
concerned.
to make that deal.
Yeah,
he can make it alone by himself, but the rest of us shouldn't be included in that if we didn't even know why we're. You gotta communicate with this man.
Right, and
if you explain to us why you want it this way, then yeah, but otherwise we're not gonna make a deal with a demon.
Character reasons why he won't do that.
I think the only thing that we cared about was actually seeing the procedure, but otherwise, I don't think we really necessarily cared, because we had already said if he does turn into a beast, we'll just, exterminate the problem.
Yeah. But the previous deal, that still involves the doctors observing him work his magic, correct? Matthew.
But he will do the king's one now.
Yeah, and
so they could watch it now instead of later.
Yeah, and on that one, he actually had specified he would not reveal to you how he did it if he cured you. This way, you actually get to see how he does it.
Oh, I see. But why not just have him cure one of the members of the party right here, right now?
Because that would put you immediately in his debt, whereas with your original deal, you're not in his debt until he does something for you. And B, with that deal, he made it clear if he cures you, he's not going to tell you how he did it or let you watch. Whereas here, he's content to let you watch because he feels the benefits of whatever he's getting out of this outweigh whatever he loses by not holding the threat of your infection over your heads.
Well, I was going to say, if we wind up storming the other dudes, whatever, I forget the person who knows. You mentioned earlier only one other person in this setting.
Yeah, Dr. Knight is the only other one who knows how to
whenever
do
we
it.
storm and invade his castle, we can totally just steal whatever plans or designs.
I was
we don't need this goat man to solve it for us. We can just,
Yeah, I was actually going to propose something quite similar to Tuco and the others, because I think with our powers combined, we could possibly do it.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't need Goat Man to do it for us, and we don't have to worry about being in debt to a demon who absolutely does not have our best interest at heart.
Well, if we make it clear that we don't want a part of it, but Zephyr does, we can get some of the... We could benefit, and Zephyr's the one who's at risk. And Zephyr's cunning enough that he could probably get himself out of any situation.
Yeah, true.
Are we saying all of this in front of Goatman?
I
was talking out of character.
So I'll say too, before he leaves, I think before you leave, it would be important for us to kind of clear the air right now, because I think there may be a small misunderstanding. We didn't call you here. Zephyr did. So I don't know
I beg
about
to differ, my lady. You contacted me, and it was
I
you who proposed the idea.
Yeah, but on Zephyr's
it was originally Zephyr's idea, and he asked her to do the message.
You're literally talking to the messenger, mate.
Yeah, like I literally said in my message, Zephyr wants to do this deal with you. Those were my exact words.
He kind of stares you down for a moment before
I
his grin
feel bad.
returns. If you want out, then now's the time to do it.
Then I want out.
Very well.
Zephyr can make this deal with you, but I'd have no interest in it.
However, I am still interested in seeing the procedure. So the other.
Yeah, because
If-
that we have to storm his castle if we want it.
Okay.
If I'm not getting a service, I see no reason to provide you a product.
She just kind
Yes,
of
depends
rolls
on
her
what deal
eyes.
Zephyr wants to make with you.
I'm gonna go get some coffee.
I will agree to help Zephyr with whatever deal he makes, if you'll let Miss Ellicure still watch the procedure.
He kind of stares at you for a moment before directing his attention down to Zephyr. And you? Apparently I'm not the only puppet master. There's a moment of silence
Rip
before...
Zephyr. Caleb will say, "Now I will get you these weapons of yours if I will agree to get you to help get those weapons of yours if you'll cure me instead."
This gives him pause. He licks his lips and seems to be seriously considering it. Roll persuasion.
Roll
Can I
persuasion.
just give him a tap on the back? Be like, "That's a good idea, Caleb," and give him guidance.
I'll allow it, but next time don't say your character's leaving and then do something.
Oh, okay.
I think you've already said that before.
I have
think
multiple times.
Well, it's one of those things where people. It's one of those. It's a sentence you say just to flavor things. Like you're not actually leaving. You're more just okay. How do I?
Well,
end
no,
that
what it
sentence?
is
Oh, they're
people
leaving.
don't wait to hear what everybody else says before they take their action.
Mhm.
And so they hear somebody else say something like, "Oh, wait, no, wait, I want to do that too."
Yeah, wait, I'm in now that more details have been revealed.
It's like if
Yeah, but
people
you can
were-
make that argument for literally every moment. Like
I mean, I just wanted to help giving him a D4 with his roll. That's all.
I mean, I'm not allowing it. I'm just pointing out, like, basically try to be more attentive to that in the future.
Persuasion, right?
Okay.
Yes, and you have a D4 to it.
Okay. I'm gonna use that their inspiration.
at least for me, that's usually what it is. It's just a way to say a placeholder of oh shit, I can't think of
Okay,
anything
so
to
then I
say.
add a D4.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually what it means.
It's 22.
Because unless there's an actual map, I don't see a point.
He considers for a moment and holds out his hand to you. Very well.
Now, if it just so happens that me and Zephyr both wind up bringing it to you,
He gives a smirk and... Service is rendered, service is rendered. I will purge the ichor from your blood. The consequences be yours. And in exchange, I want those weapons. Try to cheat me or deny me, and there will be consequences. Same as all others.
And you'll
Unfortunate-
still let the doctor watch.
He holds up a finger and waggles it. No service, no product.
well, you know what you
Well, I
got
mean,
to
if
do.
if I agree as well.
He takes a step towards you. His, despite very unassuming appearance, the fact that you know what's behind the humanoid illusion gives it an intimidating air. I put a price on things, and I expect them to be fair in exchange for what I provide. This is a service that currently only lies in the hands of your enemies. I think it's only fair that I have a relatively high asking price for it. You are not in a position to negotiate, Mr. Gyoger. you are in a position to beg.
Damn.
Do you really think this is a good idea, Caleb?
We shall see. I do think, obviously, the king should be cured first. He is in far greater need.
Oh, is he talking in first person on that? Like, it's because of himself.
What?
Because he's technically king.
I think he's speaking literally.
Because he's the king.
He's the heir apparent.
Yeah. He is the
So
heir
why
apparent.
are you making a deal to cure yourself instead of the king?
It's because Zephyr's already made a deal to potentially cure the king, which is currently being negotiated.
And Caleb doesn't care if the king lives.
Yeah, where Tuco's concerned, he just wants to figure out what the cure method is. Because
All these
really, the
things
minute
are
he
about
figures it
that.
out, then he can cure the party. But to do that, we need to go straight for Knight and get his shit.
Well, there's also the procedure. Like we can have the formula, but we still haven't seen the procedure. So we would only have half of the puzzle.
Well, yeah, but we're doctors. Like our characters should be able to, like,
Well, I mean,
make some educated guesses, as it were.
I mean, we
Or
could
it
be
should
the
be like
greatest
like
mind.
an additional help for us.
We're arguably one of pretty great minds among others. Even Goatman has said that this far succeeds anybody on this planet's capabilities. And I'm guessing that, but it's because there's a specific maneuver that he does, and it would benefit us to see that procedure being done.
Well, perhaps. All right. You do what you want to do.
No. I'm just saying, like, it would just be better for us to see the procedure because there's a part of it that's very quick and very precise, which is where I find a complication in the plan of, like, not being able to see the procedure. But there's nothing that's saying that we can't find an ulterior, method.
Because the reason is it's usually not Matthew's style to only put one way to solve a problem in his games.
Yeah, I could kind of tell.
There's this guy. There's possibly Dr. Knight. There could be others that we don't know about yet.
There's obviously other ulterior motives. So if you're not comfortable doing this deal with him, which I don't think the majority of us are.
The quickest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's the quickest, and the most. Basically, if you just do this favor for him, he will do what you ask of him. But who knows what the fallout of that will be? He's playing a very large political game here.
Yeah, that's why I don't like dealing with him. It's like I don't want to have to deal with a new coalition of enemies, like towards the tail end of the plot, or
Yeah.
It depends on, I guess, how confident you are in dealing with his future plans.
Well, that's because in general, I'm trying to think. How many more enemies do we have left to take out?
Out of the known lieutenants of the Star Concord. Here, let me pull up the thing here.
I think we've only taken out like one.
Technically two.
And then we have Barbarous that we still need to go.
Yeah, there's Kaloum, Gyogre, Lucifer, Droop, Dr. Knight, Wyborn, Humor, and Barbarous.
Yeah,
so
Barbarous
there's eight left.
Barbarous is like a good push away from being dealt
with. Yeah, we need to go finish that before we go do anything else.
Well, from the sounds of it, is it actively killing them? I'm a little confused.
I am all for killing Barbarous.
Yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want with the enemies, really.
No. Though the illness or whatever the fuck, because the reason they should care is because it's gonna kill them eventually.
Well, exactly that. But
All the alchemist told you is that it is definitely killing them, and you're starting to see the symptoms of that. But he didn't necessarily. At the very least, he seems confident that it's enough time for you guys to get to the Dimebog Hetmanot and assassinate or depose their leader. And then he can cure you without any issue. So
yeah, and also we learned from the Emperor.
Just the king be care first, because he wants to see how it affects the king.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. It's just there's a lot. Everyone's having thoughts.
Oh, I was just trying to explain to Teresa that we also learned that the big bad, the lady in white, can control the Ichor beast.
So I know that.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
we have 8 members left, not including the witch.
Yeah. Like the lady in white is like the leader, but say 8 lieutenants and the leader.
Okay, so 9 people, and we don't even have a way of curing whatever it is whatever problem they're causing. However, the person who we should go to actually look into starting to fix that problem would be Knight.
Yes.
Right.
So
we're gonna go.
Yeah.
You go first.
I was just gonna say, rumor puts her in the Aegis Federation.
Which Caleb, I think, also wants to go there because that might be where his actual father could still be.
Yeah, you guys had originally planned to go there first and then come back to deal with Barbarous.
Okay, so why don't we just go to Knight first and then deal with Barbarous second?
Well, I mean, it just seems counterintuitive because it's completely on the opposite side. We're closer to Barbarous than we are.
If Caleb gets control of Tabedra, he's going to send help. So the Barbarous problem could even be dealt with. Basically, like, Caleb's going to send help, and if we're lucky, the Barbarous problem could get dealt with while we're dealing with the Knight problem.
Yeah, no, that would actually
I
make
mean, I assume Matthew would allow that possibility if we set it up. I allow the
possibility, certainly.
That if we're able to set up the right sequence of events, it'll be dealt with.
If we can set that up, I feel 100% comfortable going to Aegis. But if we can't set that up, I would rather do Barbarous.
Caleb is pretty confident he's going to get that set up.
Yeah, knowing how to cure the Ichor is objectively like the main through line of what matters, because if we don't know how to get rid of this issue that everybody's spreading around, we're fucked. And we need less distractions.
Because Caleb and Zephyr have made their deals.
Yeah, because we need less distractions or i.e., prop hunt, like hunting and quest grabbing for other people who most likely are gonna come back with an enemy force to kick our asses in the finale. So. So what's the plan, guys?
Yeah, so are you all gonna make deals to get what y'all want?
Nope, I'm out.
Yeah, if we're gonna go straight to Knight after this, then I don't really see the point.
Yeah, Lucian does have somewhat of a idea for that, so I was planning on bringing that.
Because I mean, we're gonna wind up going with whatever the party does, regardless of those who did make the deal with the devil. So we haven't really lost anything. The only thing is that the threat, I guess, is a bit lessened for the rest of us. Whatever it is he does to make sure you follow through, TM.
And to be fair, Caleb and Zephyr don't necessarily, at least unless they, well, in Zephyr's case he will be, but Caleb hasn't necessarily had it done on him yet, so he can either back out if he decides against it later, or he can just, he's not on the hook until he as he said, until he renders a service. Caleb isn't quite on the hook yet.
Oh, okay, goody.
So Caleb's deal is that
we're gonna bring the king back. We're gonna cure the king. We're gonna cure your character, and then from there we're gonna head to Knights or Aegis. Does that sound like a plan for everybody?
Yeah, sounds like. Yeah, He
Okay,
hasn't
well,
said whether
you know what I mean.
or not
like,
he
we're
wants
Yeah,
to do it
like,
now or if he wants
Yeah,
to do it
basically,
after
yeah.
he's
Establish
paid.
the deal, acquire throne,
Alright, let's
weaponize
continue
thieves.
before we spend literally all night on this one scene.
No, yeah. That's why I'm trying to wrap things up.
Alright, let's go. Back in scene.
Then we have a deal, Your Majesty. He holds out his hand to you, Caleb.
If I help bring you this thing, you will cure me.
Yes, and I will no longer require your services for the deposal of the Hetmanat.
Very well. I want...
Unfortunately, Prince Tebedra, unless you can offer me something of greater value, I'm afraid my hands are tied when it comes to the king.
But did Caleb just rob his prize?
Yep.
Damn.
Because I mean, think about it. If he has control over you, the king
Yep.
of one of the factions,
Yep.
like that's why like I don't want to fuck with this man at all.
Also,
like
Caleb has yet to actually... Caleb has yet to let him do the service, because then...
Yeah,
it means
basically,
where he
he's
can back
twice
out
over got you in his pocket.
Yeah, but Caleb... Basically, he hasn't done anything for Caleb yet, so technically Caleb could still back out at any time. He just won't
Yeah.
get anything from him.
Mm. Do you have anything else you can offer me, little lizard? Oh. Blood for blood.
Is that my blood? You motherfucker. No, I know. Amanda knows, but Lucian doesn't know. I know.
He licks his lips and... The doctor has been very hesitant to give me any samples.
Oh, don't. No, that's even worse.
Yeah. Lucian
No.
looks very
It's
uncomfortable.
not Tuco's deal.
Do I
it's
even want to
Zephyr's
know
deal.
where you...
Oh,
Do I
yeah,
even
but
want
do
to
you hear me
know-
talking as Tuco right now, buddy?
do I even want to know where you got that from, Zephyr? Also lots of things. I hope you've noticed.
Right, the last thing we need to be doing is offering a demon more tools to wind up controlling the world.
I take offense to that terminology. I am not a demon.
Oh, what are you?
He's an alien.
We prefer the term outsider.
No, alien is better.
telling him what he should be called. Fuck's sake.
I didn't know the people of Wicked had some colonialism in their blood.
How did Lucian's everything not get that across?
Well, she just strikes me as like unethically scientific.
Yeah, ethically challenged. Yeah.
Ethically challenged. You know, filthy necromancer.
Yep,
Necromancer,
filthy
necessarily
necromancer. I
colonialist.
mean, but like before, like a couple months ago, she didn't even recognize Zephyr as like a person. She was like always calling him a little lizard.
Little lizard.
It's very racist. He's very racist. She doesn't know she's racist.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, I think Matthew did say that, like, elves apparently have a tendency to see humans as more like pets than actual.
Yeah,
Oh my
absolutely.
Jesus! Oh, I love this. Okay, anyway. let's
Like,
go.
I think Matthew said, like, they equate them to, like,
There's
how
a
we would
reason
equate
to
a
everything
dog.
I say.
Mhm.
Maybe a slightly more intelligent dog, but still.
Yeah, but yeah.
Man, what does that say
Zephyr-
about geared towards summer?
Zephyr, roll persuasion. You have piqued his scientific curiosity.
Scientific curiosity.
I was gonna say, can Tuco observe that vial and see if he can figure out its origin?
Yeah. Can I
Can
help
you
by
type
just
the
kinda-
blood from sight alone?
Yeah. Can
Well,
is it
no.
red
Can
blood
he
or
look
is
at
it
the
black
vial and
blood?
see if he's fucking seen it anywhere?
Yeah.
Alright, okay,
Fuck
okay.
me, buddy.
Alright,
Imagine-
okay, everyone relax.
I mentioned Tuco has seen many vials.
Yeah, but in this ye olden age where everyone's been using the exact same Tupperware for the past millennium, I think it'll be a lot easier to identify a glass bottle.
Also, I have keen
Not like
mind.
a mass-produced
so I've seen it
like
recently.
bullshit.
You'd be surprised at how much mass production they had in those
Oh wait, this
times.
is yours.
Lucian, Tuco, both roll investigation. Austin, private message me which specific vial this is.
Matthew will allow it. Because he's the DM and that's his right.
Yes.
Alrighty, investigation. Alright, 15 plus 6.
Nice, alright. Lucian, investigation? Alright, we'll circle.
Dirty 20, sorry. D&D Beyond was not too amazing for me.
No worries.
I was also being a predator, so.
Okay. Tuco, I will say the vial, you can identify it as seemingly Underdark in origin, but and of course the blood is black, but beyond that, like there's nothing in it specific that tells you anything. Lucian,
Is the Underdark famous for like putting its stuff out there, or is that even a significant detail?
it's significant because they're like, you know, as Tuco proudly notes frequently, their industry is a lot more advanced. Basically, you can tell the difference between what is like a factory-made glass and a like made in like a glassworker's shop.
Okay.
And Lucian, I will say, with both a decently high roll and having been there at the time, you recognize this as the vial from when you guys were doing blood tests in the Underdark.
Oh, her eyes just narrow.
And Zephyr, persuasion? I'll admit it's tempting, but I have grander aspirations than the mere mad science experiments of the Concord. You may keep that for future negotiations. I'm sorry, but there's little I can do.
Caleb, mate, are you really certain that you want to be in this guy's pocket?
In its pocket yet, no service has been rendered.
If you say so. You're dancing with flames, buddy.
Or ice, at any rate.
I can back out. From what I understand, as long as you have not cured me yet, I can back out of this deal at any point.
That is correct.
It's like a notification.
Yeah, remind me later.
Yeah, like ring the alarm 5 minutes from now. He keeps putting it on snooze.
Once I bring him what he wants, he'll be paid in full, and then he'll pay in full, and that'll be the end of our arrangement.
He gives a smile. Well, if that's the end of things, quite a turnaround on these negotiations, but that's the nature of business. I'll come find you all once my weapons are in tow. My buyer will be very grateful to you, I assure you. Perhaps even kind enough to give a demonstration.
May I ask who is buying these weapons?
Doctor-patient confidentiality, I'm afraid.
You just hear Mishka just doing that. that cat growl.
Even if it does wind up being one of the Concord, I assure you, you may not want to keep doing business with them because I tend to watch them all burn.
Oh, I know. Like I said, I'm hedging my bets. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Let's just say that doing business with them may start to get a lot more difficult.
If they find it difficult to pay, then I may find it difficult to provide. It's as simple as that. I have no sides, Your Majesty. Only whichever side is winning. Toodaloo, everyone. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Well, Caleb's fucked.
He's literally...
Let's see how it plays out. He snaps his fingers, and this time for good, vanishes, dissolving into sand. Dimitri.
So nothing
After he
has changed.
disappears, Caleb's gonna make, well, let's see if Summers managed to jerry-rig a cure of their own that works.
Dimitri, kind of like sitting a little nervously by the door during the negotiations, kind of awkwardly approaches the spot where Siegfried was and kind of kicks some dirt and sand over the pile.
I guess he heard him disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah, he disappeared.
I gathered.
Okay.
Amanda, there's something coming in through your mic.
Well, I never told her about the deal. That was your business.
Did you communicate that with the rest of the party?
Well, that was the deal you made, Zephyr.
Also, yeah, like, you need to remind us of this shit whenever we're talking about this. Like, otherwise it's gonna get glossed over. Okay.
All right. Is everyone, I guess at this point, it's been suggested to see if Summer was successful in rigging up a cure. Do the rest of you want to do that, or does anyone else have any business they wish to conduct in Rosewick?
No, I'm too tired to give up.
All right, Zephyr, I know you had some shopping you want to do. You want to just do that real quick? All right. Okay. Duko, what's this?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what's the plan now? None of what we said would be going down went down, so.
So the only thing that's been immediately proposed is, yeah, just like see if Summer, because Summer was working on a cure of her own, see if she's had any progress there, or you can just chill for a bit and then start getting ready to head to another destination.
Caleb wants to
Okay.
resolve this issue in Tibet
Oh.
first.
I'm gonna pout because I have to again. I'm gonna pout. Alright, but you guys are killing Aggie, not me.
All right.
Well, I mean, I suppose just waiting around to see until we can get to Aegis.
Okay.
Caleb's gonna go back and see what the progress has been.
All right.
He's hoping this can
He'll
come
just
to a
accompany
head.
whoever's driving the plot for now. He'll accompany them.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be driving the plot, you think, Matthew?
Well, it's from Caleb, given that like Zephyr's just shopping.
Fair enough.
And Zephyr, do you want to just, after you do your shopping trip, just regroup with the party? Okay. Sure. Message me which one you want to identify out of the ones you haven't yet. For lack of better options, Caleb, you start prepping to meet with your sisters and see what progress they may have made on a cure. On the way out, Dimitri pulls you into a hug, and seeming still kind of shaken by the alchemist's appearance, or rather disappearance.
Caleb's gonna ask him, do you want to come with me?
Frankly, at this point, I don't think I can handle another alchemist. Just stay safe,
No, she
okay?
doesn't do anything crazy like that one does.
He kind of nervously looks over his friends before. Alright, I guess I'll follow along, but if things start to get crazy, I'm out.
Alright. Caleb's gonna, like, do, like, the thing where he, like, grabs hold of his arm and, like, starts walking like that. You see that thing that couples with you?
Yeah, arm in arm, I get you. Alright.
But you might have to get used to this place if everything goes according to plan.
Oh, I know my way around. I just not a huge fan of and he kind of glances back at the shed.
That's fine. I assure you nothing will happen. And if you do feel uncomfortable, you're free to step out and all that.
They give a nod and accompany you. Zephyr breaks off from the group to do some shopping. And you make your way to Castle Rosewick. Skipping over the castle itself, as Caleb, you know, especially when your sister's at work, she prefers the darkness and solitude of the dungeons. You make your way into the cellar, and also Austin clicky clacks. You make your way to the cellar, and working your way down, once again you can hear quiet conversation between Haleli and Summer.
I'll see. Caleb might do the same thing he did before. Just listen to what they're saying.
Roll perception.
Perception. Yeah, we're gonna lucky that. That was a natural one. There you go, that's much better. 14 plus 9 is 23. 23. Matthew?
So I was just I was getting some water. Listening closely as you open the cellar doors and begin leading the party down the dungeon stairs, you listen as you hear the distant voices of your sisters. Now see, everything's going smoothly so far. Have I ever given you reason not to trust me? No, I suppose you haven't. Things have been rough around here, that's all. Nothing's been the same since Father got sick. I know, dear. Don't worry, everything's gonna go right back, be right as rain once your father's kicking again. And you're sure this'll work? I've done it 1,000,000 times. It'll be easy. And all of you hear an unexpected third voice. The incoherent mumbles of King Tebedra.
What?
As you all make your way down into the dungeons, you hear the echoing voices of Summer and Halali. Caleb picks up on the specifics of their conversation. The rest of you, it's just kind of lost in the acoustics of a dank dungeon. And as you all approach, in the furthest right cell on the block, you see Summer Tebedra, Princess Halali, and 2 unexpected visitors. Queen Tebedra, and the king, who is in chains with his back to the wall.
Yeah, it's kind of comes in. So like, oh, Summer, I hope the king being chained means you're about to do something that's either going to work or bring this to a head.
There you are, brother. This is just a precaution. I don't like it any more than you do. But our sister says this is the best idea. Aye. Once we minister the cure, he's gonna start doing a lot of kicking and screaming. And it's better he be tied up for that so he doesn't hurt anyone. Ain't that right, Miss Lepakir?
She's just staring at the king and just nods her head.
And if it goes horribly wrong, maybe it will buy us some time.
That's the idea.
I'm sure all of you know what will likely happen if this fails.
I think we should be prepared for him.
You were all in, it was Mercurial, right?
Yes.
You were all in Mercurial. I'm sure you know what the failure is going to look like.
We are aware.
He was talking to everybody.
Yeah, that's just it. If he kicks it, we destroy him before he fully transforms.
He's not.
Does our dear mother accept that possibility?
She scowls and signs out. It's going to work. You promised.
We
Well,
promise.
let's hope for the best. I think she means Summer.
I think she meant Zephyr.
Possibly
Before,
Zephyr.
could I ask something? I'd like to ask something.
Yes, Dr. Lefkier?
Could I go through your notes, before we proceed? Maybe Tuco and I could, No offense to you, of course. Maybe, a fresh pair of eyes, as it were.
I don't exactly have notes, so to say, but I've done this method out in the field while traveling with the mercenary band. It's saved a few of our members in the past. There's a reason none of us were dripping with goo when you found us, eh?
So, like, you have no scientific anything behind this?
I wasn't the one who came up with it, but they taught me how to administer it. It's field medicine. But field medicine's just as good as a hospital when needs must.
Yes. Well, let's see if this works. Hope for the best.
I will say this, Matthew. I will take mental note of what she does.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Summer, you did get the news of the situation being dealt with, correct?
Oh, really? I was wondering if those were just rumors. She looks really tired and kind of runs a hand through her hair. Glad to see you made it back in one piece, at least. I guess
Yes,
that if you are back, that means you either ran for the hills or the problem's dealt with.
Yeah. Everyone in the Major can sleep a lot easier. Though they could sleep the easiest, knowing that the king won't. Well, you know.
The queen leans down and runs a hand through the king's hair, seeming very concerned and uncertain.
Well, if it helps, now's a good time to say whatever's on your mind.
Just in case.
Pressing her hands to his face, his eyes, you see, are unfocused, almost blinded. And drumming her fingers along the side of his head, she signs out, I love you. It's thanks to you I have a family and a life. You are my world. Don't leave me. All right. If everyone's
I was
made
gonna
their
note
peace.
that Caleb was probably going to kind of do the thing where he balances on the laser rifle,
Mm-hmm.
basically having it out and ready.
Mm-hmm. Summer, seeing everyone getting kind of antsy, kind of takes a step back. And you're 100% sure this will work, Haleli? Yes, I'm positive. No need to worry.
Can I insight her?
Roll insight.
Caleb
I
honestly
don't
is
like the
kind-
way she's talking right now, and it just sounds a
Yeah,
little double-edged. If you
Yeah,
understand
Caleb's
my drift.
been thinking the same thing, but again, he doesn't matter. He
Ah,
doesn't care
stop.
if it works.
No, 8. I'm my insight is 8.
You're paying more attention to the potential procedure she's going to conduct. However, as she turns her back to the party and takes a knee next to the king and starts rifling through her cloak, you see a wicked smile pass over her face.
Also, does Caleb just like look at her? Like,
Could I say one thing to whoever's closest to me?
In a second, Caleb?
Okay.
Yeah, Caleb. Does Caleb notice the smile?
No, Lucian rolled insight, so.
I don't know. It seems like something Caleb would do because he kind of suspects there's a possibility.
Well, I was
she's
gonna say
talking complete
something.
bullshit just to try and get back at us. So he's just gonna watch her, and like in a moment where like they have eye contact, he just smiles because he knows no matter what's about to happen, he has a plan.
benefits. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she picks up on the fact that he doesn't care if she succeeds or fails.
And Lucian, the person standing closest to you, would be What's-His and Tuco.
I'll say to them, boys, I think we're in for a fight.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, you watch as like Tuco kind of starts to shuffle backwards.
I get my 2 ionic axes out, ready for whatever might happen.
I'll draw my staff and my symbol.
Though I would like to say, if anything bad does happen, my first hits are going at Halele, or whatever her name is, not Dickerbeast.
Okay.
Halele.
It'll just kind of just says Halele, like after he smiles. I'm sure whatever this is going to be very interesting.
It's rather boring, actually.
Oh, I doubt that.
She pulls up the leg of her pants, and you see that strapped to her thigh is a mechanism similar to what Zephyr wears. A vial of what appears to be her blood strapped to her thigh by a syringe, which she yanks out of the holster, and Summer.
Can I cast guiding bolt and see if I can hit the vial before
Roll
she
to
does
hit.
Try
anything?
to stop her.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean, can Caleb try to stop Lucian? Like, can he like slyly try to like break her concentration by like stepping on her foot or something like that?
Roll to hit with disadvantage.
I would say it works because I just rolled a natural 1.
Caleb, you stomp on Lucian's foot, and the spell fizzles. And Halele holds up a hand, and you can see Queen Tabaja reaches for her blades, and Summer, her fingers start to twitch. Relax!
Oh, you hear Lucian swearing. God damn it, Caleb!
Caleb just like
Listen,
stops
honey
her.
bunny, we've seen this before. We have reason to be worried.
Let me
Caleb's
explain.
just going to silently give Lucian like a look, like, no, don't do that.
But my foot, really?
Quickest way I could deal with it.
Let me explain. The only way to get this stuff out of his system is he needs untainted blood to take its place. I'm an elf. My blood's very clean. It'll be very effective at purging it from his system. And I've been letting it sit in that vial for a few days, making sure that none of my skin cells are mixed in with it. Okay?
Sounds
At that, yeah, you see
reasonable to me.
Tuco kind of start to step back, like, alright, mate, if you insist.
Caleb was like, it seems
I still
reasonable
gonna
to me.
look at her suspiciously.
She goes back to the king, puts the syringe into his throat, and plunges her blood in.
Caleb will slowly back up a little bit.
May I ask you something, Your Majesty? Something I've been curious about, but never really felt like the right time to ask.
Who's she asking?
You.
Oh, what would that be?
The lieutenant. He knew you. Mr. Wicker. What was your
Yeah?
connection?
If I remember right, didn't Caleb spend a lot of time like talking with him and stuff?
Yeah, you were sort of as good of friends with him as you could be, given the
I
circumstances.
think it was like through his father or something.
Yeah.
My father was good friends with him. So when I came to live in the castle, I spoke to him very often.
That's so.
I do. It is a shame that I didn't realize who he was before I fired.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
was a good one.
It's a shame a lot of things had to happen the way they did. She pulls back on the syringe as Iker enters into the vial.
I'm glad you were able to move past that.
And I'm glad the guilt doesn't keep you up at night. And she plunges the syringe back into her thigh. She empties the contents.
Uh-huh.
She just infected herself. Great.
She throws the syringe to the side, cracks her knuckles, rolls her neck. Summer kind of squints and narrows her eyes. What happens now? What happens now
He
is...
died.
Don't beat me to the punch, Colonel. You deserve to pay for what happened to him just as much as His Majesty does.
And
Y'all
Tuco,
robbed us, so you got what you had coming to you. And he attacks. Because at this point, it's attack or be, tapped.
Tuco?
yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, because my computer shut off. So
Yeah, updates. I get that.
I need to find my character sheet. Here we are. Okay. I want to go to trying to see my inventory here because I want him to use one of his toxins.
Let's see. The one you the ones you get from your little class feature, or like another one you have on hand.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The one you got from your alchemist feature, or just one of the like potions you have on your person.
I want him to use Tears of Death, and I want him to throw one of the potions at her.
Okay. I will say.
I think her point is to die though, to set off the Iker.
Well, they're not actually death.
No, yeah. Tuco actually is being pretty smart here, trying to basically keep her motionless rather than straight up kill her.
It's like Petrificus Totalis. It's literally to paralyze her.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay. I think given the boost of hostility, everyone roll for initiative.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to see if Tuco gets their turn before they can do that.
Well, I mean, I don't think it works that way, does it?
Basically, yeah. You will get to throw it. That it's not that you won't get to do that. It's just basically will she get to do something before that happens? And even then, you're faster than her, so more than likely you'll get to go first.
I believe I have advantage on initiative, right?
Yes, because of your scimitar of warning.
By the way, was the scimitar blaring at Caleb the whole time?
Actually, no. It only triggers when you're about to be attacked and, in that sense, surprised.
19 plus 3, so...
Nice. Alright, so I'll go ahead and note you down.
I had an 18, by the way.
Alright. Tuco, what's his... Alright.
Dice shield. Okay. Oh wait, I had advantage, so I only had to use one lucky point. Now I could try one more time.
Alright. 25 to 20?
That'd be me.
20 to 15? $15 to 10?
Oh wait, shit. Oh. Sorry, I was dealing with lucky points. I was trying to wait, hold on. So hang on, I had advantage. I rolled 2, so that would have been a lucky point to roll that dice. So yeah, this dice roll I just rolled would have been my last lucky point.
And Amanda got 21. She just had to roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 21 as well.
All right, you two will share your turn. And I think that's everyone who's here since Zephyr's out shopping, so... Okay. Turn order is Tuco, Lucian and Caleb sharing a turn. What's is Halele? Tuco, you're up. You want to throw your Tears of Death?
Yup.
Okie dokie. Knock one of those out of your inventory, and she has to make a DC 22 con save.
Dang, that's a pretty high DC.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
an expensive
know.
poison.
No, I'm very good at poisons. I'm an underling.
Did they start? Did they get to like choose some really expensive poison to start with?
No, they just bought that at the herbologist's.
Oh, really? Interesting, interesting.
Do you have a charger?
And that's a failure.
And every round, take 1d6 of poison damage.
Indeed.
And they're
All right.
paralyzed?
Yep. Tuco, pulling free one of your Tears of Death potions, you throw it through the air, and it makes impact against the elf's skin. And they initially smile until you see their muscles begin to lock up and freeze, and their smile drops before they fall to the ground and drool, completely paralyzed.
Oh, good thinking, Tuco.
Yeah, you'd see Tuco kind of give him a grin. Oh, no way! That lassie was suspect, my friend. Suspect indeed.
Oh yeah, she was about to do something. A part of me didn't want to believe it, but yep, it turns out that part of me that believed it was right.
How's the king doing?
Well, he's hanging on the wall.
And actually, his condition hasn't changed at all.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still clearly, like, mad, but, like, only as much as he was, but when you guys got here. Alright, Tuco, anything else on your turn?
What else can I do?
You can cast a spell, you have Expeditious Retreat and Healing Word, you can do Cunning Action, or you can apply a poison to one of your weapons or pieces of ammo.
I can cast a spell. Oh.
Yeah, but it has to be either Expeditious Retreat or Healing Word.
Oh. Eh. Alright, let me see. Cast a spell, cunning action, what's that?
You can dash or hide.
No. What's the last one?
You can put any of your poisons on a weapon or piece of ammo. Normally that would be an action, but you can do that as a bonus action since you're a professional.
Oh, baby! Alright, so he's gonna douse... I was actually really cute. I made a component pouch. I got a component pouch. And so now I have all my little potions and stuff put there.
Yeah!
Alrighty, so I'm going to use... he's gonna rub some boiling fungus on on his let me see what am I gonna do? I'll say he's gonna do it on his grenade launcher.
Okay. You douse one of your grenades in boiling fungus and load it up into the grenade launcher with a wicked grin. Lucian / Caleb, you're up. You can go in any order you want, do any combination of things you want, but you guys are up. She is paralyzed and on the ground.
Yeah, she's paralyzed for a minute.
Would you like to go first, Caleb?
I mean, it seems like we should probably just stop what she was doing and then call it a day.
You guys, she's going to transform. You know that, right?
Yes,
Actually
I
start
was
that
saying.
process.
I was saying, Caleb, you want to attack first.
And also, Caleb looking at her, she's actually not transforming.
I think she'd have to die first for that to happen.
Oh, I see, I see.
I think she was going to kill herself to make it happen, but then you stopped her.
Oh, then let's just chain it to the wall.
I actually have no arguments with this one.
Yeah,
Does
Lucian's
anybody
just
have-
like,
Caleb's going to address everybody in the room. Anybody have chains?
Hold on, I've looted a lot of shit.
yeah, let me look through my shit.
I've got rope!
Don't forget, no, we got manacles. We got manacles.
Oh yes, I have manacles! I did make a joke about that one last session, didn't I?
And we are in a dungeon.
Yeah, so, yeah, can they just get a dungeon, like, just put her in another one of the dungeon rooms?
Lucian, would you be willing to help Caleb do that?
Absolutely.
What's is you as well?
Yeah, because I'm probably able to just pick her up.
All right, I'll say with all of you working together, easily.
And let's frisk her for any of her weapons. Anything she can use to kill herself.
Or anything of value. Maybe she does actually know something.
Hugo. Tuko, you're really good with like chemicals and stuff. You should check and see if she has like nightshade and shit.
Oh yeah, he will. Yeah, he'll rifle her pocket.
No, like poison berries or anything for you, Missy.
Okay.
Would Tomatrons know about the trick of hiding something in your mouth to bite on?
Yes.
Make sure she doesn't have anything she could bite on in her mouth.
Will do.
Don't worry. That was the first place I was going to look.
Okay. Tuco, I'll say one of you can help the other, or you can both roll separately, but Tuco and Lucian investigation. And just for she's going to be paralyzed for a minute, so you guys have time to kind of stack things.
Well, I'm currently eating a burger, so if you want to roll at advantage tree, you can.
All right, Tuco,
Okay.
roll investigation at advantage to find if she has any weapons or poisons on her.
All right, 19 plus a 6.
Let's add a guidance.
You may also add a D4 if you want to be really positive.
I can, or anybody else?
Yeah, you can roll add a D4.
Oh, okay, I'm silly. I got a 3.
Tuco, Lucian, the two of you begin to frisk the paralyzed elf for you check her mouth, her pockets, anything where she may be concealing a weapon that she could use to complete the transformation she was attempting to instigate. For What's-Is and Caleb, and if the rest of you have like rope or manacles you want to contribute, what are going to be the layers of security for keeping her locked up? Summer.
There's going to be manacles, obviously.
Yeah.
All right,
I would just like hold her
Or,
down.
yeah, like use the manacles that are already in the room if there are any.
No, yeah. I was gonna say Summer and the Queen are already preparing to handcuff her in one of the dungeons, so she'll already be strapped by manacles. But basically, if you guys want to be really thorough, you can add your own items to the restraining as well.
I had a horrible one. It would work.
What?
If we chop off her feet, she can't walk.
Oh no!
Oh, but then she could bleed to death.
No, plasma cauterizes as it cuts.
Guys, no.
Break her legs.
No! What? We just
As long as you don't
paralyze her,
break-
obviously.
As long as you don't break the skin, then it probably won't be able to cause her to die.
Yeah, I'm all for breaking her legs.
Yeah, no, like, Tuco's looking at y'all like, seriously?
I mean, if you
what do you
want to
think,
be
Zephyr?
thorough.
Oh wait, no, Zephyr's not there.
If you like Caleb, for extra credit, I could break them and name each bone I break, just for fun.
No. I got
I
this
don't
big
know. I think,
warhammer I
I
just
think
got.
some bars and rope and the manacles will do plenty.
Oh,
So we're not
I
breaking her
even had a
legs?
thought. Y'all continue. I'll see what I was thinking in a second.
Yeah, Matthew was wanting to see if we would actually keep attacking her and kill her. Which would have completed our goal anyways, but it's like, nah.
All right. You all briefly contemplate the mutilation of the elvish woman, but eventually settle for, again, the queen and Summer assist you all in manacling her in one of the dungeons. Tuco, you can see your poison is beginning to take its toll on her body, but Summer actually comes through on this one and uncorks a vial from her belt and holds it under the elfish woman's nose. Oh, no. We're not finished with you yet.
Remember, you can't kill her.
She gives a
There are
nod.
fates worse than death.
Don't worry, that's the point. That poison you used on her is powerful. It's going to kill her while she's paralyzed if we don't keep her conscious.
Because
And
yeah,
she-
the 1d6 every
That's
like.
easy. That's easy.
Yeah,
Let's
it's very
better get like right on death's door, and
It's best
then
not
I
to
can
risk
cast.
it.
No. I can cast Spare the Dying, and that will just like keep her from dying, and she'll feel knocked out.
We've never tested that. So as far as we know, the second she dies, she could start turning.
That's true. We haven't tested that. Maybe we should.
Let's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
yeah,
would
even
rather not
Tuco
have-
can. Yeah, it's actually one of the spells he can perform, so he does have an undo essentially if he winds up ruining, fucking the wrong person up with his poisons. Just an oops.
So Summer's helping keep her alive through the poison, because I'm rolling the damage, Tuco. Your poison would have killed her twice over. 3 times over, sorry.
Really? That's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
doesn't fit.
she has 11 health.
Yeah, that's why she was
Oh.
gonna transform herself. She can't.
She can't
Caleb-
take you guys in a fair fight, so she was gonna, do this.
Yeah, Caleb had it planned perfectly that she's actually not even close to capable of killing any of them. If Caleb wanted her gone, she would have been gone.
And Tuco and Lucian, from your frisking, you do not find any poisons on her. However, you do find she is wearing a set of leather armor. She has a shield on hand, as well as a long sword, a short sword, and a long bow. She also has a few what appear to be spellcasting components on her person. However, none of them appear to be useful as poisons. You can see a 2-inch ice rod, a little bit of like a small little bit of phosphorus wood, a short string of copper wire, and a little bit of fleece.
So ice
I know
rod, you
exactly
said?
what The funny thing is, I know exactly what these those components are for.
Yeah,
and I
Tuco,
will
for the record,
put
yeah,
them
you
in
don't need to
my
write these
notes.
down. These are actually already in your component pouch, so you don't need to write this down.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, basically,
stealing them.
she has a bunch of stuff that you guys already have, like nothing impressive.
Frisk the woman.
Now, these are my components now.
So while they're all doing that, Caleb's gonna check on Dimitri and make sure he's not like too
Oh,
psyched
by
out
the
by
way,
what's
you never
going on.
did send us the money that we would have from selling off all the items we did from last time.
Yeah, I will do that in a moment. It's since you guys basically got back to Rosewick and then like shortly after went to do the dialogue with the alchemist. And I wanted to make sure the list you guys sent, like after the initial ones, were the ones you wanted to sell, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't want to list the wrong items. All right. So yeah, I'll take care of it tonight. That said, yeah, Caleb leaving the cell to tend to Dimitri. Tuco and Lucian looking
Like,
over.
I'm sorry, I told you the weird things wouldn't happen.
Eh,
I'm sorry you had to see that.
it's all right. It got dealt with. How's the king?
Well, he's not cured, I'll tell you that much.
He takes a deep breath and. You guys acted fast. Good job. And he kind of pats you on the head before bringing you into a hug.
Caleb will reciprocate.
Hugo just kind of gives a little bow and a little bow, like thank you.
Well, that is unfortunate. I was hoping to have the situation dealt with. But it would appear that revenge runs deep.
And like I said, anyone else can contribute items if they wish, but are you content with the dungeon manacles, or do you wish to add any further layers of security to keep her
Do you have
bound?
anything to add?
I was gonna say,
I don't really have anything to add. The rope, the chains and manacles don't do it. Ropes aren't going to do shit.
true.
Well, bear in mind, she would have
guess-
to break through all of them, and likely like
Yeah.
one at a time.
Then
I
yeah,
guess
okay.
I could like tie her feet together so she can't try to like do anything with that.
You see Tuko just tying like shibari knots on her ass.
All right, so Tuko, you tie her up. She's already manacled via the dungeon. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Dude.
hold on. Let me see. Can he reduce her size? Can he like
Probably make her come
can he
out of the manacles.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure?
I was just
And
thinking
you'd have
like
to redo
he'd
all
make
the
her
knots.
he make her tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, put her in a jar and like, hey, if we don't let you out of this jar, you'll explode. All right. Tuko tying her legs together with fancy knots. What's-his and Summer restraining her via manacles. Caleb hugging Dimitri, and you all see with a glance the queen is hugging the king, who continues to cough and gag, although, again, his condition does not noticeably grow any worse.
Yeah, he's not cured, but it didn't get worse yet.
And that's what I'm worried about.
Yes, we don't know
He
what.
injected her blood into him. Maybe he needs to die too.
Don't be
we don't
saying
know how
words like
this-
that in front of the queen. Seriously, she
I'm
might rip your
sorry,
throat
but
out.
I mean, I'm sorry if that was insensitive. But I mean,
No,
that's
I don't mean because it's insensitive. I mean because she might actually tear your throat out for suggesting
Well,
that.
I'm just saying.
She gives a nod.
I'm just saying that, like, her whole plan could have been that they both died and both turned into an Ichor beast. I don't think that she even cared.
Did she inject anything into him?
She injected
Yeah,
her blood into him and his blood into her.
That's what I'm saying.
It is true. It does create the possibility that her blood is not compatible with the blood mixture in him.
That's what I'm saying. Is
So
that
he could
there's
still
a big
turn into a
possibility.
monster. He may need
Yeah.
to be monitored.
That's what I was saying.
And Haleli is currently, again, Tuco's poison is ravaging her
Frothing at the
body.
mouth.
Yeah, ravaging her body so hard that she should have died on the metaphorical operating table 3 times over. But every time her heart's about to stop and she's about to slip into unconsciousness, Summer just waves the chemical under her nose. Lucian pumps a spare of the dying, whatever it is you guys do to keep this woman alive and breathing until eventually the minute is up. The poison runs its course. And
You really fucked up this time, didn't you, girlie?
It was a good try.
You bastards. Taking the man I love from me wasn't enough.
Hey,
Gotta
y'all
rip me over the
started
coals on the way out.
Hey, y'all started
Wait, the way you're
so I
going,
don't feel
darling, you're not
shit.
going anywhere. Do you have any idea what it's like to be infected?
I do. I've seen it.
Seeing it and like experiencing it are way different things.
I don't give a damn what happens to me, but I care an awful lot what happens to you.
What happened to all that talk about, what was it you said? The best revenge is to live?
Yeah, I live, you die.
You
Oh,
won't be living, darling.
That's
You'll
the
be.
thing.
You won't be a thing at all.
You would
Yeah, you're gonna be like a monster that's not even yourself.
It's not really
Right.
living, is it?
Is it that hard to imagine that I care for somebody who's not you so much that I'm willing to die for him?
That's
I mean,
really what
if you want to
expect,
follow
but
him,
it
that's
just-
your. If you want to follow him, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, like, I
but
feel like she's
no,
not getting...
We are waging a war, darling.
yeah, that's your prerogative. I would have happily helped you. be able to follow
Seriously,
him.
save this personal grudge shit for whenever the world isn't ending, eh?
My
We
world already
we don't
ended.
think. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mine's ended
But the
once over, but
literal,
I'm
yeah,
still here.
the literal world is about to end.
Okay. Like, there's like so much going on at once right now.
Yeah, but basically both of them making the same core argument that like there's bigger problems than your personal grudge.
Yeah, Caleb's going to say, well, now you're going to be denied. Now you're going to have to be denied that. Your sacrifice forever. Till we find some way to get this thing out of you, at least.
Well, whatever you're gonna do, I suggest you make it quick. I don't think he's got long.
Yes, that problem may become a pressing one. But when it comes to you, you're probably going to be spending a very long time bound in about 100 different ways, so you can't possibly harm yourself until we cure you and then kill you anyways.
I can't wait.
Caleb's gonna look to the Queen and Summer and be like, oh, should we bring the guards in to find a suitable place? I don't want her near if the worst happens to Father. Last thing we need is for the creature he becomes to turn her into a creature too.
Summer gives a nod. There's dungeons in the tower that we're not using. We'll keep her there. Mom and I can keep an eye on her. And she turns to get confirmation from the Queen, but the Queen simply stands up, turns on her heel, and exits the dungeons without a word.
Fucking coward.
Caleb's gonna be like, it might be best if she's not here, just in case the worst does happen.
Oh god, I can't.
Because I have a feeling with her attachment, she may not be willing to let us do what needs to be done. Whispering to Summer.
Mm-hmm. Of course she's not. I'm not either.
You do realize if he turns, there is no other alternative.
If there's a disease, it has to have a cure.
It
Haleli may not.
does.
Summer, this isn't your regular disease. It is not just merely a creation of the natural
Yeah, but
world.
Summer,
It is
we
magic
both.
and... Okay, can Caleb
Yeah.
talk?
Caleb was mid-sentence. Let him go.
I'm sorry.
So, this isn't some disease. Something different. Like a mix of disease and magic. It cannot be. It may not be traditionally curable. I do know there must be ways, but I don't know if it'll play by the same rules.
And
I
besides,
think as long as he doesn't turn, there's still a possibility. But the moment he does, for the sake of everybody.
besides,
Say this
there
like-
is a cure. However, the means of acquirement are so ridiculously beyond comprehension. Point is, we need time to find the cure to cure your father. Time he might not have.
What do you need? I can help you get it.
Well,
Would
didn't
Summer
Caleb
have any
steal
means?
one of the vials?
And to yes, you at the summer ball you did give her a vial of the infection to experiment on.
No.
And
Didn't Caleb steal one of the vials from the goat man?
oh yes,
He stole 2.
yes.
Caleb was going to pull one of those out. I did find a possible other lead.
You
but
what?
It seemed like your idea was a lot closer to an actual solution, but this maybe give you a direction. And Caleb will pull out one of the vials.
Summer looks at it like it's the most valuable treasure in the world. And Tuco, to answer your question, It's certainly possible. It seems that Siegfried specifically wants, people who can offer him political control, and she is the birthright heir of Tebedra. So she certainly would have the sway to potentially offer him what he wants. It's just a matter of if the fallout of that is something you're willing to accept.
Yeah, because again, yet another chess piece.
Yeah. So Caleb, according to the source, this material can apparently destroy the Ichor, but it also has to be done in a very careful manner. Otherwise, it will destroy them. Can you remember what the guy called it?
Referring to what? The cure?
Yeah.
Soul Silver.
He called it Soul Silver.
Soul Silver.
It's not of this world.
If I remember right, Matthew, he said it destroys the Ichor, but if it's not administered right, it destroys everything else, right?
Yeah, basically he can use it to separate the Ichor from the organic blood, but obviously this needs to be done by a surgical expert, or if you botch it even slightly, it can have unintended side effects.
Yeah, so Caleb was saying, from what I understand, this is able to separate Ichor from the blood, and there is supposed to be a way to then remove the Ichor, but if you mess up at any point, it basically causes them to die or worse. It requires a high degree of precision. Even fractions of a second off and timing, from what I understand, could mean failure.
God, I can do it. I just need time. I need time and test subjects and resources. I know you say it's not.
I'd be willing to work with you to find this cure. However, we are actively looking for a method to, well, perform the procedure. Somebody already on this planet has managed to do so. Somebody had to put the disease in them, so obviously there should be a way to remove it.
Who?
Our enemy.
That list is getting longer by the hour. Any more specifics?
Well, there are two people that we know of so far who could do this. There's this alchemist.
Tuco just kind of lifts a hand like, nah.
Caleb was like, Tuco, let me deal with this. Is this your family, or is it
I don't
mine?
give a damn. I don't give a fuck. Do not jeopardize this.
Caleb's going to ignore them. There's Dr. Knight, who is with the Concord. She could perform it. Or there's this Siegfried or something like that, who can apparently do it himself, but his comes at a very steep and risky, dangerous price.
Okay.
Knight's would probably be the least bad.
At this point, I'll take what I can get. I met Dr. Knight at the ball. I'll send them a message. And I'll find this Siegfried person.
But she's not going to help. She's with the Concord. She's the one who put it in him in the first place. We would have to go there, and we would have to go and find her and force her to help.
Oh, then what are you still here for?
Precisely. We need leave.
I believe she was last seen in the Aegis Federation.
Aegis, the dwarves. We've had dealings with them in the past.
Oh, I am quite aware of the dealings.
Then get to Aegis, figure out the cure from this Dr. Knight, and get back here as quickly as you can. I can delay the infection, but especially now with 2 patients to look after, and her eyes glance to Haleli, I'm gonna have my hands tied. And I have no idea what Mother's planning. She never storms off like that.
Well, I would suggest you have an army ready, just in case.
Right.
Because do not, if you hesitate, If you do not destroy this whenever it becomes too late, it will destroy you, it will destroy Mother, it could very well destroy all of Tepetra. The king could become our destruction, if you let him.
What's the point of a kingdom without him?
Well, most kingdoms have a plan for if this happens. Ours is a bit weird in that regard.
I don't care about the kingdom. I care about our family.
Some might say that is the problem. And Caleb will walk away.
She watches you go before turning her attention to the rest of you. Lucian, you had something you wanted to add?
I don't think she's in a good mindset at the moment. She's away from the phone.
Okay. Get to Aegis as soon as you can. And she rubs her fingers against her temples, looking at Tuco and Wats's. I will do everything in my power to make sure he gets through this.
For your sake, and for the sake of this kingdom, I hope you get to it. But in the meantime, let us do our work, uninterrupted and unimpeded.
I have no intention of getting in your way if you're on my side. And she glances to Caleb as he leaves the dungeons.
Remember, we are on your side, and we are trying to ensure that this thing is eradicated forever. We didn't put this disease on this planet. Remember who did.
She gives you a nod. I'll send you a message if anything changes in either of the patient's conditions.
I'll arrive shortly, if it's urgent.
She gives you a nod. Well, get going.
He nods, and with that, he spins on a heel and is out the door.
What's this?
He follows.
Wait. Colonel.
Yes?
She hesitates for a moment before giving you a smile and... Come back to me in one piece, all right?
Oh, I'm not going down yet.
That's your wife, after all.
That is the agreement currently.
Yeah.
Now go. Show the dwarves what real military precision looks like.
Oh, I got a surprise for them, don't you worry.
Let's hope it's better than your last one.
Well, it should be.
As for you, and as all of you turn to leave, she bends down to Haleli. Caleb, you recall your sister did have a sadistic streak growing up. You may not know how to cure this, but you definitely know more than anyone in your position has any right to. And I'm going to pull the answers out of you, one tooth at a time.
Just remember, she has to be able to talk.
I have healing potions.
Oh, no!
Yeah, they would have been fully on the leg breaking thing.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is who we decided to marry.
Yeah,
You know how to pick them.
love is strange. And ugly. And blind.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah, in Caleb's case, it is definitely blind.
Awful.
Love it.
Oh, really cheesy. I'm back.
Hello.
Hello. You good?
No, but the show must go on.
Yeah, we're almost done, don't worry. Zephyr. After making your shopping trips, a few gold coins lighter, you meander around the city as you wait for your friends to report back, presumably with either King's dead or King's alive.
Complicated.
However, for the second time in Tebedra this week, a woman of the royal family stomps down the road, searching for one of the heirs.
Oh, I see.
And Queen Tebedra, ever the assassin, finds you.
Now she know where he was gonna be.
She stomps towards you, unsheaths a rapier, and presses the tip to your throat with unimaginable fury in her eyes. And with her free hand, she signs, "Explain now." We had a deal. Caleb gets the throne. My husband survives. That was the agreement. She grits her teeth furiously. Give me a name. She scowls, but seeming to have gotten what she wanted, sheaths her blade. But with both hands free, she signs emphatically. You made me a promise. Both of you did. On my word as queen of this country, neither of you will have that throne as long as I live. Do I make myself clear? Your brother's just the disappointment his father thought he was. But I expected better from you. You can see her fingers curl into fists like she wants to deck you just for that alone. Her fingers uncurl. Tell your brother he might as well trade that ring into a jeweler for all the good it's going to do him. Summer will be queen. Unless you kill me. She turns on her heel, steps toward the crowd, and just as she blends in with them, her form shifts to disguise herself, and you lose sight of your mother. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh boy.
Dang, it is almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, as far as Kayla's concerned, this isn't going to go how she thinks it is.
Let's find out. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer who narrowly managed to avoid an Ichor Beast. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. And support our episodes, post on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions, the Odd Tornado Productions YouTube channel to catch up on what you may have missed, and check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with the PH, don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon, that link to be posted as well, on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd, TNOR, in fact, capitalized. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for our Monday campaign, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globetrotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods. Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.